Yo, so this video is about me unfollowing Alessandra, Anja, Noah, Ambrosio, and pretty much everybody on Instagram and social media. So first thing I want to look at is this video that's at the top of my YouTube. I have lightning powers. I mean, like, you can go watch the video. That was what I was trying to do, is get some kind of lightning reaction, and you can very clearly see some kind of lightning reaction, as you can see when you actually click the video and then go into the description, and there's these other triggering lightning videos and triggered lightning, just other videos where I do these lightning labs, and I show, just repeatedly that there seems to be some kind of interaction between me and the storm activity. And I'm going to suggest it's related to what it says in the Bible. Um, you know, being the guy on the guy conquering at the seven churches of Asia, the one victorious, conquering, overcoming at the seven churches of Asia, and the fact that I clearly have a real Jezebel character in my reality, Alessandra Ambrosio, a woman who seemingly force bred me when I was a 16-year-old minor here in Texas, and the Texas government and Houston government and federal government has allowed this somehow. I'm assuming there's some kind of rape executive order that has allowed them to rape me when I was a minor. If not, I don't understand how this would still be going on, because it seems to be public enough. But okay, we're going to look real fast. So really the reason I wanted to do this is there was an insane lightning storm last night, to the point where it's like trending on Twitter, and it was in Sydney, where Anja Ambrosio visited recently, and where Alessandra Ambrosio is dating, this woman who raped me and my children. Anja and Noah Ambrosio are being used to beat me over the head. And the men that Alessandra has been dating publicly are being used in a really abusive, psychologically abusive, and just like really fucked up fashion to hurt me. And the most recent instance of a man that is being used is a guy named Buck Palmer from Australia. And so the fact that Alessandra hasn't taunted me for like 7 days, basically, because, well, her entire neighborhood burned down. But what did she do in the interim? She booked tickets to Rio with Buck Palmer so that she could taunt me some more. And then as soon as I saw that, there was an insane lightning storm over Sydney. And we'll look at it. But, some of the quotes are like, the most extreme lightning storm that I've ever seen. Like, first of all, I want to show you what this looks like in my thing. So these are all the storm related things. It was about this point last night that this happened. Oh, and those wildfires that are directly related to Alessandra being a rapist, and people like Kamala Harris seemingly knowing about it and participating in it, and these slimy guys like fucking Gavin Newsom. Look, a $275 billion, a $250 billion disaster that is directly related to Alessandra Ambrosio being a rapist and an evil fucking woman. You know what I mean? She is literally the Jezebel character from Revelation 2:20, and she and her children die. So what would be my biological children, Anja and Noah Ambrosio, treat me like shit. They're terrible children. I don't like any of these people anymore. I tried very hard to be right by them, do the right thing by them. They have done nothing right by me. They are evil, fucking terrible people, and I'm really praying that Yahweh kills them here soon to show what evil they are, because that's how the Revelation 2:20 Jezebel character is dealt with, is that she's killed as a literal rapist. I also think, the people around that are very clearly like taunting, like Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson, who are pretending to be Christians and stuff. And then, like, Mel Gibson's house just burned down. I wonder why that is. They did this whole Daddy's Home 2 thing. You pull it up. So for the past few days, interestingly enough, when I pull this up on my laptop, and let me see if this is still the case. Hold on. Nope. Okay, they changed it. So and I've already caught this on video, and so someone had to have gone in and changed this, else Google's AI just changed this. But the first two people on the thing were Alessandra Ambrosio and Mel Gibson, and I think she plays like his boyfriend or his girlfriend or some bullshit like that. Mel Gibson is again a fake Christian. He did Passion of the Christ to be evil and abusive. Oh, Luz, as in like Gabriella DeLuz, the really close friend of Alessandra and the mother of Anja's best friend, who got cancer when I started creating a manifestation in my story and pictures. All of this is recorded. I can show and prove everything that I'm saying here. She got cancer, and I believe she's about to die. This year, she's going to die. You know what I mean? Of cancer that is caused directly by Alessandra Ambrosio and by her. She took my daughter, who is a product of rape, Anja Ambrosio. They force bred me. It's a form of rape. And they're lying and pretending that this Jamie Mazur guy is her father. But again, I would bet heavily that if you did a DNA test on Anja and Noah Ambrosio and myself, you would find that I am their biological father. But Alessandra's been using all these like replacement fathers and stepfathers as like, basically abuse vessels to beat me over the head with my own children. So she's a really fucked up evil whore, and she's gonna get what she deserves for being a really fucked up evil whore. And the Bible suggests all those men die too unless they repent. And, by repent, it would actually have to be make it right. And to me, you can't make this right. Fuck all these guys. That's how I feel. And they've sealed their own fates. And, I think they're going to be too arrogant and prideful to fucking repent anyway. Repent means metanoia, change your mind. Change your mind, do the right thing. But you'd have to do the right thing by me. And they've spent so much time being evil to me. It would be like they would have to undo themselves completely, essentially. And I think most of them would rather die, even though they don't realize they're going to be thrown into infinite burning torture for being literal rapists along with Alessandra Ambrosio. But my point with this is, again, she, for whatever reason, was the number one person on the cast for this fucking movie for, I don't know how long, until they just adjusted it, like, I don't know, a couple days ago. Oh, Alessandra plays Mark Wahlberg's boyfriend. But I think the idea is that father and son are like fucking the daughter, or fucking my girlfriend. I don't know, my wife. I say my wife because she's the mother of my children, not by my choice. They did this again forcefully and without my consent or permission, and they tried to do it without my knowledge when I was 16. The issue is, how do I pull down a rapist infrastructure grooming gang that is even so powerful, like presidents and vice presidents and people in positions of power, as the Bible says, the principalities in high places, right? How do you pull that down? And I'm going to suggest the way that you see going on right here, where there's this guy is directly, like, these people are directly responsible, along with Alessandra Ambrosio, because they've been harboring her in that community that burned down. My children were raised in the Pacific Palisades without my consent or permission, and these people knew about it, and this is how they feel. It's like they're laughing about it. So again, as wisdom says in Proverbs, when a whirlwind, oh, what happened here? 100-mile-per-hour hurricane force winds when there's when the whole when there's fire starting and it created a firestorm. That sounds exactly, I just read something yesterday. Someone was like, God would have stopped the fires. God comes to judge by fire. Yahweh comes to judge by fire. Even in the New Testament, that's what it says. But there's all sorts of instances in the Old Testament where he says he's gonna, burn down palaces and communities of evil people, and seems like he burned down a hive of fucking rapist scum and they got what they deserved. And they're only going to get more and more trouble for their rapist fucking behavior. So, okay. Now, just, let me reiterate numerous times. Clearly doing lightning stuff here. And the fact that, there's enough. Wow, that's so cool. How are you doing that? You know what I mean? Uh, and then a Dragon Ball Z reference. Um, and then when this guy said funny thing during storms, it's like taunting the storm gives this person is saying they get stronger storm, and it's like, okay, well, here's what I'm saying. Record that for proof. And in my videos, there's hundreds of examples of this happening in my videos, and I don't see anything like this from anybody else. So I think by the time anybody else can do this, someone else can do this, they're empowered by the beast from the earth, as mentioned in Revelation 13. But in the Quran, that's something Allah raises in Surah 2782. So, I think that this is probably the end of the Bible and that we're very quickly approaching that as Jezebel meets her demise and they actually have to do something new other than use Alessandra Ambrosio in a rapist fashion to beat me over the head. So, also my children, Anja and Noah Ambrosio, trying to beat me over the head. One of my thoughts here, and I just want to make this very clear, I think Alessandra's going to do the thing that Giselle just did to Tom Brady, where she got pregnant with another man's child in order to embarrass and beat him over the head. I do not think that I think it's maybe going to last for about 5 months, and then probably miscarriage, Anja and Noah die, she dies, and then, Jamie Mazur, Nicolo Odie, Rich Lee, Buck Palmer, and any and all of her friends who've been helping her are, going to have the sharp sword of Yahweh bear down on them. Unless they repent, which again, they would have to undo themselves. Also, Stuart Shining, some guy who's a gay dude who just pretended to get married or something. A bunch of gay men are participating, gay men and women, LGBTQ community. If that's not the case, LGBTQ people need to come out directly and publicly and say that they have no involvement in this and that they are not party to this. But at every corner, there's, guys like Matt Mazzafara, who's now Maya Mazzafara because he got a sex change, are just being used to beat me over the head and try to abuse me psychologically and spiritually and emotionally and, psychosexually and stuff like that. So unless the LGBTQ community, whatever, the alphabet soup comes out and basically says like, yo, Matthew Ray Wilkins, we do not have any problem with you. These people are not connected to us. We're going to make it right to you. We're going to actually help you with this and be your ally because you have been nothing but kind to us and in something we should consider an ally. And yet these people who are claiming to represent us or trying to pretend as if they represent us have treated you so wrong. It's the end of the Bible, and we can see that Yahweh is a real God who judges by fire. So, okay, do not make peace with evil, destroy it. Now, there is the Noahide laws, and you are even breaking those by doing this rape endeavor on my reality. So, and I would suggest that's even part of the joke is the Noahide. Noah Ambrosio, Noah hide, because he's hiding like a little pussy. Yeah, I mean, he's a little dog, but just like his sister. But I'm trying to say he's acting like, from a distance, they're trying to beat me over the head because I think he's gay, which, again, my thing is, like, it's not ideal for me, but I'm not going to, that's not something that I'm, like, hateful for. It's that, his mom raised him like that because she wanted this outcome and because she's an evil fucking rapist whore of a woman. I mean, I can't really, can I make it any clearer? You know what I mean? I think I've gotten a lot of good art around this, and this is history. You know what I mean? This art endeavor, I'm making art out of pulling down strongholds and fortresses of evil fucking wicked people and the principalities and governments and things that empower those people. And I'm not doing it with violence. If I can control storms and stuff like that, and I can strike people with lightning, and I can cause disease and do all sorts of other things, and whatever. If I have people that are following me because they can clearly see that, then I would suggest that probably I'm the guy that matches. First of all, it's my religious right here in the United States of America to believe that, and if it's happening, I would say it would behoove the United States of America, Texas, Houston, everybody around me, this block of Lamonte Lane where people seem to be participating, like Alice, not Alessandra, Allison and Aline, no, Caroline Payton, like the Payton family down the street, pretend fucking Catholic people. You know what I mean? So I just feel wronged by all sorts of groups of people, but the most obvious example of someone who's wronging me, in my opinion, since it's me that they're wronging, I think my opinion's the most valid here, is Alessandra Ambrosio, unless you can prove someone else is wronging me more than her. And so, like, Beyonce pisses me off, but she hasn't done what Alessandra Ambrosio has done. She might be empowering it, but, she hasn't done the actual. She didn't decide to be the vessel of rape. She might have ordered it or participated in it to some degree, but Alessandra did it. And that's why Alessandra is going to die as Jezebel, because she's a rapist whore of a woman, and she's not a good person. At this point, she's like I think it's getting stressful on her, and I can see through the amount of magic and cosmetics and all sorts of bullshit, subversive stuff, touch ups and AI filters and stuff, to see that she's stressed out, she's anxious. I don't think she's probably sleeping well. Same thing with a number of the people around her. Oh, the Stuart Shining guy, by the way. I'm pretty sure he took nude photos of Anja and Noah Ambrosio. I think he should be put down like like an evil child pedophile rapist that he seems to, or like someone who's making child porn of my children. And remember, they're my biological children, but I don't ever get to see them. I've never met them. They treat me like shit. They're terrible to me. They are not good people. They aren't good children. So like I think that's why it says in Revelation, it calls them Jezebel's children, and that they die too, and they are killed with death. And I think that means actually they don't die of natural causes. I think some people killed them. I think they're murdered. And honestly, the way they're acting, it's a form of self-defense to me. I mean, but I'm not doing it. I wouldn't be opposed to it at this point, because I think that that's how evil they are, and it's hurting people. And I can see like this storm. Someone died in this storm, at least one person. In that firestorm that hit their neighborhood, their friends all lost their um, homes, or a number of them did. They don't have the wealth and material things that Alessandra and her family have, and so they're not going to be in a good spot. Also, if it's arson and ruled arson, I think a lot of these people aren't going to be given they aren't going to get insurance payouts. And so it would behoove the insurance people to prove that it's arson. And I think I think it's really going to be obviously arson. And I think if something says otherwise, proof will come out that it's arson. And so if like a government organization tries to say it's not, well, then when that proof comes out and you're caught lying, that's going to, your reputation goes away. So in any instance, oh, there's another fire, but that's whatever, little mountain fire. So look, we're going to quickly look at my, look here, right? This is my story and pictures. We're going to go up here to, well, let's just go to a few days ago, right? So, how does this song go? All medicated geniuses. Haven't I been sharing this for a bit? There's a kid with the golden arm. He admits to the forest fire that he started up from the lack of something better going on. There's a kid with the golden arm. He admits to the forest fire that started up from the lack of something better going on. Tell your friends it's a four-alarm, just a smokescreen. We're all liars. Better to stew in discontent than admit that we're wrong. You get what I'm saying? As far as prideful, arrogant people, they don't want to admit that they're wrong. They have a lot of ego, as the Eastern word has crept into whatever. That's not what it means in the West, but whatever. Well, we can even use that. They have a lot of ego and pride and arrogance and a haughty spirit, and they're going to be put down like dumb animals because they aren't anything more than that. So, you know, but let me just continue to prove this. All motivations out to sea and our ideas, they die so quickly. Probably like the kid that Alessandra's. I have no doubt Alessandra's about to get pregnant again, or maybe already is pregnant. That's why Palisades burned down. And so, cool. I want to see this end. I don't really care about her. At this point, I want to say I hate her. Hate is a poison that would poison me internally. I don't like her, and I need to see a resolution to this. And I think it's going to be terrible and evil for her. You know what I mean? Because Yahweh is the master of good and evil. I want to say this to anybody who might say what I'm saying is satanic. Guess what? Satan's Satan is Yahweh. Yahweh is the Satan to Satan. Satan is a Hebrew word that means adversary. He is at the end of the Bible, some snaky diviner enchanter who snaked off power and maybe controls the world system through some form of blackmail or compromat that he has on all sorts of different political blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work on me. And I have, what's that called? Actual power. And I'm going to see this dumb animal put down. Satan, None of this is threats to anybody that's like actually like if I can strike you with lightning or if I can kill you from a distance with my mind, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, that should be terrifying. If I can give you cancer, not that I want to give people cancer, that's the whole point, is they're giving me cancer. So I can redirect that onto them by, certain techniques. I'm just going to say that, certain techniques. Now, so Gabby DeLuz, she and her family are trying to give me cancer. Recoil's back on your head. Alessandra's seeing it happen to her friend. When her friend dies, I think it's going to cut deep. But Alessandra doesn't care about people. She's a sociopath and an idiot and a rapist. So, you know what I mean? I don't care. I don't care about her. And if you're trying to ascribe anything that you can ascribe to me that you might consider like whatever, like what? Like, is me saying that I'm going to strike you with lightning or give you cancer or do this, that, or the other? You're going to try to claim I'm a terrorist or something? I think I have proved that some kind of counter terrorist apparatus here in America has been snaked out by like people who basically bought the people at the top of it and are using them or have compromising material on them and are using the counter terrorist apparatus against Americans legally in a way that's abusive and wrong and morally unjust. And so, the guy from the end of the Bible has to come. The one that conquers at the seven churches of Asia, who coincidentally seems to have all the gifts that, Jesus as the Word of God has, as the King of Kings, Lord of Lords has. So all of this very clearly is represented and fits into my religious beliefs. All of it fits into literally what it says at the end of the Bible. When Jezebel dies, Alessandra dies, I think it proves it out in manifest reality. I'm sorry, Anja, Alessandra, and Noah, when all of them die. Because first I think the kids die, and then that's the thing that's been protecting Alessandra, and she gets sick and dies, I believe, of the pestilence from the fourth seal, fourth trumpet, fourth plague thing. But, because it's the fourth church, she's the fourth church. Or the thing associated with her is the fourth church. Relating to Jezebel and some group of people called the Nicolaitans. I think the group of people that did take over that counter-terrorist apparatus and are using it in a rapist, evil, illegal capacity. But they have somehow governmental immunity because in the darkness, if I wasn't proving this stuff out very openly and creating a testimony about what's going on, they might get away with it. But since I'm doing what I just said, a testimony, as the one on the throne has a tent of testimony in Revelation, I think within that tent of testimony, I'm protected, and what they've done is going to be brought out in a severe, harsh, and I'm going to suggest violent way on these evil rapists. And anybody trying to protect them, you're trying to protect rapists. Now, I've seen a bunch of people try to protect the rapists that raped all that shit raped through Israel on October 7th. So I have no doubt that people protect rapists these days, especially Muslims, because they are literally followers of a rape knockoff rape religion, one that says submit or die, and that is known for raping women, and that says in Surah 23 that you can, in fact, if you can hold female war captives with your right hand. In other words, if you can overpower them with your right hand in this jihad or struggle, you are then able to rape them. It is lawful to have sex with them according to the Quran. It's really gross and evil stuff. But that's Islam for you. So okay, well, and again, I think that's the thing. I think the seven-headed beast is some kind of Islamic caliphate, at least the last head, associated with maybe this Trump Kushner peace plan, because I think they've been bought off. Like when I see this whole Gaza hostage deal, I'm pretty sure like I'm looking at it like this is the worst deal ever. How is Donald Trump bragging about this deal? Well, it's done under Biden, first of all, but I mean, even then, it's a terrible deal. It's much like the Afghanistan pullout. It makes no sense to release a bunch of terrorists who are clearly going to go out and do some more of that terror, and you only get a couple hostages for it, and it's a delayed release. You don't even know if all these people are alive. You're taking terrorists who've raped and murdered. You're taking them at their word, and since for this whole time they've been acting in bad faith, I don't expect them to not be acting in bad faith. I'm sure some of these people that they said are alive, I think they're probably actually dead, and they're trying to game this and get some terrorists out of it. So I would just suggest drop the deal. Trump said they're going to unleash hell. We'll do it. Unleash hell on these, demonic, evil people. A demon, according to the New Testament, which precedes the Quran by 500-600 years. A demon is any spiritual entity that is not Yahweh, so Allah, that is claiming to be God or some kind of spirit or whatever that is not Yahweh, that is not in the hierarchy of Yahweh, like any of the angels or whatever, or whatever that falls under a spiritual hierarchy of Yahweh. So Allah would be a demon technically because he's just a lesser spiritual entity, something claiming to be God. I think it's the deity called Baal from the Old Testament, as Hubal is the Syriac, demon, essentially pagan deity that was worshipped at Mecca before the Muslims conquered it, and then said, "Oh, it's the home of Allah, and here's the black stone, and kiss it, like it'll forgive your sins, like Jesus, the white stone, does." Anyway, it's all bullshit, huh? It's also like a venom meteorite. You know what I mean? It's like a venom it's like a meteorite from out of the sky, and they kiss it because they think it's going to forgive their sins. What kind of ass backwards people? You know what I mean? Like, it's really embarrassing. Islam is a real embarrassment on the Arabs, but they don't want to admit it. Oh, well. So, there's a kid with the golden arm. He admits to the forest fire. Blah, blah, blah. If misery loves company and you seem to sleep, so much more forcefully to the song of other people's failures. Doctor, do you have a remedy? Doctor, this is not all right by me. Do you think you have the trick for a city that's so spent and sick? We all lie so well. We all lie so well. They sing it much more beautifully than I do. But and then also remember that song that I did, the Apocalypse song. I don't have many songs. In fact, let's pull this up here. Here we are in my SoundCloud here. My SoundCloud. And if we listen to Apocalypse here, I'm not a very good producer. I'm a much better DJ, I believe. But okay, anyway, let's listen. I've been called many names over many lifetimes. And then I had to cut from the trailer to the actual movie because I guess there's two apocalypses and maybe the Elohim version died, but the Yahweh one's right here, you know? Um, he goes, I've been called many names over many lifetimes. And then, I cut Yahweh and Elohim together because Yahweh, God, or Yahweh, the gods. But okay. I was there to spark and fan the flames of man's awakening. To spin the wheel of civilization. And when the forest grew rank and needed clearing for new growth, I was there to set it ablaze. Okay, enough of that. I was there to set it ablaze. Sounds a lot like Yahweh, but okay. Well, let's see where that comes from.
This is where your power was born. And this is where your people were slaughtered. Who are you? Elohim, Shin, Ra.
See, Elohim just means gods or the gods. Technically, when he says Elohim, he could be saying Shin or Ra. Or this could be the Shin Bet, Isn't Oscar Isaac playing in some movie King of Kings and Lord of Lords? I'm getting tired of these supposed Christians. I mean, I'm not saying he's a Christian, but I'm saying like people using Christian theme to like beat me over the head. They aren't actually Christian. They're just trying to make a bunch of money like Mel Gibson did, which he did make a bunch of money from that, but
I've been called many names over many lifetimes. I am born of death.
Yahweh isn't born of death, though. He does have the keys to, Jesus, remember, has the keys to life and death.
I was there to spark and fan the flame of man's awakening, to spin the wheel of civilization, and when the forest would grow rank and needed clearing for new growth, I was there to set it ablaze.
Okay. Yeah, well, looks like, how does that All Medicated Geniuses song go? The one with, where this is the cover. Medicated Geniuses. Oh, Pretty Girls Make Graves. It's a Pretty Girls Make Graves song. Because, pretty girls make graves, except, what, are you going to put Jesus in the grave? They already did that. It didn't work. Oh, it's a white horse. Oh, remember that? The white horse? Isn't there two white horses in Revelation? One who's given a bow to go on conquering, and one who, it might be the same one. It's Jesus or someone who is much like Jesus. I mean, he's the Word of God and a warrior for justice and truth and has the name or title King of Kings and Lord of Lords on him. Well, let's just go back to this real fast. Let's go, just be a little more on topic, on theme here. So I just wanted to prove. And here is where you see Olivia Munn and Maggie Moon. That's where this earthquake happened. After I made a video, even saying called Olivia Munn, Maggie Moon, and earthquake. And then hey, there's an earthquake in Japan. Maggie Moon's a Japanese model, so I mean, she would probably have felt that earthquake a little bit or something. I don't know. They have pretty good resilient infrastructure, but it more should tell you at any point Yahweh can strike with the earthquake that is mentioned from Revelation. The one that happens, I believe, in the city of Jerusalem that kills 7,000 people. If I have to guess, that happens sometime this year, but I believe what's going to happen is some deal is struck, and then the Jews get to build the third temple, and then they build the third temple and start sacrifices, and then probably immediately whoever did the peace plan shuts down that deal, and then the 1260 days of tribulation starts from Revelation. And two witnesses, probably I'm guessing people in Israel, like maybe Netanyahu and someone else, or two witnesses go through Jerusalem, I believe, I mean, I think that's what it's suggesting. It's sackcloth and ashes, um, basically repentant of what they've done because I think probably they participated in this attack on me. And if I'm the guy on the throne of Yahweh, who Jesus was Yahweh, Jeremiah 23, 5 and 6, Yahweh said canoe. There is some man who is the branch, which is the Messiah, who is called Yahweh, and only God is called Yahweh. So you could, if you're Hebrew or Jewish, you have to understand what that means if some man is being called Yahweh. Don't listen to Tobias Singer. He'll get you into a lot of trouble with this because he just makes up bullshit. Because, again, pride and ego and arrogance, they don't want to admit that they're wrong. It's just what it is. So, anyway, remember, Yahweh chose the Jewish people, the Jews, or Yahweh chose the Hebrews, which the Jews are from the line of. Um, he chose them because, well, they are a stiff necked and obstinate people, but that means they keep what he said very, their scribal tradition and whatnot. It has kept the Tanakh remarkably preserved. Even Wes Huff went on Joe Rogan. I don't think he did a good job explaining to Joe Rogan, and I didn't hear the name Yahweh once, but you know, at least there was a Christian on Joe Rogan's podcast, which is just a farce anyway, but whatever. It does seem to, that's the whole Jamie thing. It's just more of this bullshit rapist people like Jamie, I think the idea is, oh, he's just the assistant to Joe Rogan. You get what I mean? But whatever. I mean, rapists are going to be rapists, and I can't really stop them from being rapists. I can only, turn some idiot like this into Jezebel, this idiot to my this way, but anyway. On my thing, I'm okay. Like when I'm looking at the screen, it's over here. But so when she dies, I mean, it's going to be apparent that all these men who are participating are just rapist monster idiots, but they've never met a monster like Yahweh or the one on the throne of Yahweh. People mock Jesus. They don't understand Jesus is more of a warrior than any fucking person that you've ever heard of ever. He's the one that ends war. He is the God of war. That's why Yahweh Zabaoth, the Lord of Hosts, that title means he who is armies and female. Because I think the idea is like, well, one moment. That's my mom who's been coming. Oh yeah, I live with my parents, which should be actually normal. But instead, people get tricked into, you know, it's normal in all sorts of other cultures. It's not normal here in America, where like I guess OnlyFans is normal. But you know what I mean? Like what? Like I don't find it. At one point, I found it maybe embarrassing, but at a certain like I come to the realization I love my parents. I don't love random whores. Like what is the point of having my own place? So I can invite random women over to fuck them or something. That's what most young men do, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, that's pretty vapid, and I think they're actually killing you because they're poisonous kind of pieces of shit. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. So my mom was telling me there's soup downstairs. Homemade food. Get a lot of it. So anyway, she always comes when I'm recording videos, though. It's like she knows. It's like she always knows what's going on with me and just pretends that she doesn't. Anyway, what's going on? That's much funny. Um. Anyway, so I made a video actually also about how Buck Palmer is like bad vibes. Like he's a surfer guy who's supposed to be good vibes, man. But like the whole surf community in California like just suffered a massive loss with the Palisades burning down and what Randall Moyd or something. He's like a really good vibe surf guy apparently, and his place burned down with him in it. You can blame Alessandra and Buck Palmer. I would say more so because the surf thing. Yahweh was trying to make a point that Buck Palmer's a rapist and surfing, being a cool surfer dude, isn't gonna save you. Good vibes only. Well, you're just bad vibes, and you're just saying good vibes as you're doing evil shit, and so Yahweh is punishing the people that aren't dealing with you that are listening to your bullshit and allowing you to be rapist pieces of shit. Like, this is why this is funny to me, because it's like Los Angeles needs our help, and she has this together thing up there, and it's like, if you're together with Alessandra, you are against Yahweh God. You're against Jesus, and Jesus ain't very happy about that. So, by the way, here's what I shared. What is that? Black Fires by Reaper and Callie v. Anja or Anja? Anja? Calivania? Calivania? Um, oh yeah, if classified as arson, this could have major consequences for victims. Many insurance policies exclude damages from deliberate human actions, meaning affected residents may not be covered. Now, again, if the authorities come out and say it's not arson, when probably is, I'm saying probably because do I know? I don't know. What about that song? Is the kid with the golden arm who admits to the forest fire? Yeah, I'm sure that's nothing. Anyway, many insurance policies exclude damages from deliberate human actions, meaning affected residents may not be covered if it does in fact come out to be arson. So $275 billion in damages wouldn't be covered by these insurance companies. Well, at least they get let off the hook, right? I would suggest those CEOs, actually like take this into consideration. You don't have to pay all that money to these people who probably don't deserve it if it was arson. And they were harboring, this woman Alessandra, who's a Jezebel whore rapist piece of shit, and the government knew about it. I mean, you wouldn't have to pay all those billions of dollars, right? Right? That's my. That's why, like, what am I trying to say? That's my tossing out a line, a capitalist line to these people because I think Alessandra's like a communist. Well, she's just a rapist, but that's communism. The state gets to rape you in communism, like it did me. Um, so because I don't think the thing that actually is affected America, like I think it's something snaked in and it's some communist bullshit because it's just Satanism. That's all. That's all of this ends up being is Satanism. And like I said, Satan's a bitch that Yahweh actually could kill at any time. But Satan. So to all these Satanists and like 666, yeah. Well, I mean Yahweh is more powerful. That's the point. 666 is just the number of man or a man, like 3 times. So maybe 3 men, but still 3 men. Like what? Who? Nicola Odie, Rich Lee, and Buck Palmer, or like are those 3 men? Because Buck Palmer might be twins, or he might already have a kid with Alessandra. I don't know, but or Jamie Mazur. I mean, whatever. It doesn't really matter. No amount of men are going to beat Yahweh God. You know what I mean? They aren't even beating me. It looks like I'm burning down the reality around them and slowly bringing the sharp sword of Yahweh to them in a way that's going to cut them to pieces if they don't repent. And again, ego-filled, kind of prideful, arrogant, stupid people, they don't want to repent, and I would be happy to see them not repent. That's what I've been saying. That's just the reality. Look at the smile on my face. I mean, it's not like this does bring me some joy. This part, and just the actual seeing of like results against these evil rapists does in fact bring me joy. So I don't even think Anja and Noah need to be alive to get DNA samples to prove that they're my children. So, I mean, that's another blow to them because I think they think I got to keep them alive. But, I mean, if they did this to me and Yahweh does, in fact, have some people kill them or something, or, they just die, maybe they die in a plane crash or whatever they die from, it'll be pretty easy to get DNA samples to prove that they're rape babies essentially, and that they chose the people who raped their father, who's been nothing but nice to them. So, I mean, it's all on these evil fucking people. It's not on me, is it? Is it on me? On Ja? On me? On Ya? That's funny to me. Anyway, see, I still have kind of a sense of humor. It's just dark and kind of fucking like, you know what I mean? Whatever. Okay, let's keep going. Um, Oh, there it is, Mr. Frodo. Alessandra Ambrosio. I mean, Los Angeles. It's on fire. This is why she still went. She went right back to taunting with Buck Palmer. Like they quickly, expeditiously booked a trip to Brazil where they might be protected because people know that they did this and they're probably gonna deal with them. But I don't know that they went with Anja and Noah. I don't. I think Anja and Noah are still in California where they've pissed off people to the degree that I think people are willing to kill Anja and Noah. And like I said, they don't have my protection. Go for it. I mean, if that's what you're going to do, I think that would be justice. if they're rape babies helping the rapists that raped their father, me, their biological father, and like, am I calling for violence against them? I think people are gonna do violence against them because this is public enough for people to know what they've done is evil and wrong and illegal. And I also think that undoes the U.S. government if this happens because, like, I literally think the U.S. government collapses. But since I'm here on the throne of Yahweh, the U.S. doesn't collapse itself. There's someone here who's been ahead of the game, and I think that's what that 1260-day period is from Revelation, and I think part of it is, I think you're looking at the 48th president. Also, I would suggest every president that hasn't been participating in this, whatever number they are, on that too. But I can actually literally run to be the 48th president, be the youngest president ever, and good because I'm at least good looking. Because none of these motherfuckers are good looking these days. They're all old and fucking broke down. Orange Man ain't bad, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know what's fucking going on, and if they do, then they're evil fucking rapists with these rapists. So like, they don't really have an excuse, do they? Obama, Ogwanga. I'm just mocking it because for a long time, all the fucking Republicans and like conservative people, damn this Obama. Just like, he's not the Antichrist. Anybody who has a spirit, the Antichrist is technically Antichrist, but there is no one character called the Antichrist. Let's just, you know, there is a beast from the sea, which I think could be represented by something that has stolen away the U.S. government and that they're just pawns of. But that's a different story for maybe another video. I think I might have already said it in one of the videos. Whatever. Okay. Los Angeles needs our help, and look, Anja's sad because her school burned down. Oh, well, guess what? I was your age when your mom raped me, and you know, my school burned down. My school participated in it, so fucking, I'd be happy if Lutheran High North burned down at this point. It might well be Auschwitz from that fucking apocalypse thing. Jesus, all these people are not real Christians, and they do not know what they have fucking done. They have drawn the ire of Yahweh God, and Yahweh will treat them more evilly than Satan could even fucking imagine. Why? Because Yahweh's God, master of both good and evil. That's the idea of eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, is like, people can't decide what is good and evil. Like, look at this situation. Is what I've said as a form of justice to right an injustice that is clear? Like, these kids aren't going to repent. They aren't going to do the right thing. So, if they die in relation to this because they're just fucking rape babies that are like helping their mom beat me over the head, is that I think that's justice. She's a shitty kid. You know what I mean? Like, my grandma always had this, and I think it's representative of her. And like, Anja Ambrosio has done nothing but treat me evilly. Noah Ambrosio has done nothing but treat me evilly. The Ambrosio family has done nothing but treat me evilly. Throw them in the fire with, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going into the infinite burning torch of conflagration flame described in Daniel 7, but also in, Revelation, the second death. But like, I don't want to see them in heaven. They're not worthy. And it's like, there's a lot of people who are not going to be worthy to be in heaven, but they are like mocking Jesus and Yahweh, and more specifically, Alessandra's literally fucking Jezebel from Revelation, man. It's like, I don't have to get more, like, it could not be more obvious, right? To me. Give me a better, who is more deserving of that title? Please, tell me. Oh, you're gonna stay silent on it? Well then, I don't fucking care. Alessandra Ambrosio is. And her rape babies here, Anja and Noah Ambrosio, my biological children, at this point, I love them, but love in the sense of like, even fatherly love with people who are doing this. I think I have other kids, and they're causing problems for those other kids too. So I don't really give a fuck. Look, this is childhood. Well, they didn't give a fuck when my childhood was burned down. I've been making every point to them, like, hey, come on, like, please, do right by me. Even to their methods, I think Anja Ambrosio has daddy, like, she has like an incest daddy fantasy, and that's why all these stepmen, the stepdad, Jamie Mazur, stepdad, but also like all the Alessandra's boyfriends are just like, just knockoffs of me that they're trying to like use to, I guess fulfill her like daddy fantasy. But the thing is that she's never gonna have real daddy because she's like, well, she doesn't want a real daddy. She just wants a bunch of worthless kind of throwaway step boyfriends or some bullshit like that. I don't know. She doesn't want to admit that she's wrong. That's the thing. I think she really wants actual daddy. That's old daddy's home because daddy really was home and is home, but she didn't want to come home. So whatever. Burn wherever she is down. Done? Done? Is that like Nikki Dunn? But Dunn, Dunn. It's some school, boarding school, because as soon as Alessandra could, she doesn't want these fucking kids around. She wants to be off with Buck Palmer in Brazil. And like, okay, well, when everything burns down and you're really Jezebel, you know what I mean? Uh, I'm sorry, when your world burns down, because also those fires, they only burned that community. They burned up to like a few blocks away from Alessandra's house, but she lives in North Santa Monica, so it didn't burn her house down. But I would suggest that should piss a lot of people off. Regular people, maybe. I don't know. Are there any regular people that live in that neighborhood? Because those are like $4.5 million houses. I feel like everybody in that neighborhood's got to be complicit, which is why most people lost their properties. Oh well. What did I say here? I'm sure tuition to the village school is or was expensive. However, they clearly did not teach Anja or Noah about the consequences of their actions. By the way, whenever you see these in parentheses and with an ellipsis afterwards, that is where the AI has been just, I don't know, for the past couple months, auto correcting things that it reasonably shouldn't, and it doesn't do it in like an organized fashion. I think the AI's basically learned what's going on with me. And it might be AI, it might be people in some kind of back end trying to fuck with me or something, or trying to give me a heads up like, hey, yeah, this is what's going on. In any instance, it still feels like an AI is controlling them. So even if it's people, it's like they might as well be AI NPCs or something. But okay, I already went through that. Here's where I went to the Rockets game with Emilio. I don't, I'm going to suggest I think Emilio was just like in the Palisades recently, and I also think he was in San Francisco where this Jason Coppola guy stole my shit. So like, as much as he's my friend and my oldest friend, I think he's just a plant. You know what I mean? And like, he would have to prove to me that he's not, because he seems too unaware of what's going on when he clearly is more aware than that. If he's not, like I'm saying this is a long video. He'd have to watch what, like almost an hour into this video, and nobody really has been supposedly watching these and like looking into what's going on with me. And if he was a friend, he might care more. But I don't actually think he's a good friend. I don't think any of these people are. I mean, look, I'll put it like this: if he's not participating and like he doesn't know about it, then he's a good friend. But if he is and he knows more than he's saying, he's not a good friend. He's not really my friend. And this is me, I guess, pulling down some evil fucking person that's gotten too close to me a long time ago. Didn't his mom get cancer recently? I mean, either A, you're trying to give me cancer and your mom got it, or B, they're trying to give me and the people close to me, my friends and family, cancer, Alessandra, and that's the whole point. And maybe I took it from your mom and gave it, or I mean, his mom, Emilio's mom, and gave it to Gabriella DeLuz. And then that way, it makes sense. Um, I mean, I don't know. Engage what I'm saying. I think he knows about what's going on more than he's letting on. I can also see that his right eye is he's one of these people where, like, my left eye is my more open eye. I mean, you can see it in pictures. I don't know if you're going to see it now, but there's something going on with the right side of my face, whereas most people, there's something going on with the left side of their face. It's like looking at a mirror. And I think it has something to do with me, and it's a way that we're like intrinsically linked neurologically, but people are trying to go everywhere but the direction I want to go, and I want to go in the one direction associated with Yahweh and Jesus. And being on the throne of Jesus and Yahweh, a bunch of people are looking at me, and so they're that's neurosympathetic or neurosystems or whatever neurological systems, sympathetic nervous systems are like it's like sympathetic. I mean, they're literally like we're mirroring each other to some degree, except a whole bunch of people are looking at me and they're mirroring me. That's what it seems like. I mean, I could be wrong about that. I also think something to do with wisdom in her right hand and left hand. Right hand is length of days, and left hand is riches and honor. And I have one of those. Which one do I have? When I look at Jeff Bezos, his left eye seems to be the one that's more open. So am I really super rich? Am I Batman? Am I Batman? That'd be neat, huh? That'd mean I'm a ninja. Oh. Anyway. So I don't hate Emilio. We went to this thing, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe neither of his eyes are very open. And if I'm saying something that isn't true, Emilio, this is how much mental health stuff. This is how it's fucking with my mental health. And like, excuse that I don't trust anybody being forced bred and like learning that kind of this year. I think I deep down I knew it, but um, this is how you pull down those strongholds of the enemy that it talks about in the New Testament because he's a Catholic and he believes in Jesus, right? And Jesus is Yahweh, right? Okay, well, then so yeah, here's me at a Rockets game. This is just I'm just giving an overview of what's been going on with me recently. And there's Stefan, he's he seems like a cool guy. Met him at Emilio's wedding. Um Here's where the Rockets beat the Grizzlies. Ja Morant, just by the way, great performance by him, but the Rockets really pulled it out at the last minute. They have been quite exciting this year. I'm happy to see the Rockets finally back doing their thing. It's been too long, and what a great. I haven't been to a game in a long time since I was in Dallas, and I went with Hadley Burroughs, and we went to and some of her friends. We went to go see the Mavericks play the Rockets in Dallas because I was going to UT Dallas at the time, and I forget why she was there, SMU or something. I don't know, working there. But in any instance, we went and saw this Mavericks versus Rockets, and this is I haven't been to a game since then. That's at least 7, 8, 9 years. So maybe 10 years. I mean, geez, 2024, 2014. Yeah, maybe 10 years. I mean, so great seeing a game, and I probably look younger than I did then, huh? Yeah, that's called aligning with Yahweh God, who has the powers of life and death. And when I say life, literally life, like youth and life, and that's why it's gonna suck for Alessandra, who's like a parasite trying to steal that away, but acting like Jezebel is like all that goes away in one day, and like, you know, I don't think she's gonna like the way she looks, and same thing with all these other women participating so that they can steal away youth and life. Anyway, um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't hate Emilio. It definitely looks to me like his right eye is open, and you can see my left eye is the one that's kind of more there. But I mean, I'm not unaware. I mean, I think it's also a little suspicious, man, that you're going to fucking the Pacific Palisades or I'm sorry, he went to Pepperdine. But I mean, it's just like I think he's more aware of what's going on, and he didn't want to say it. So okay, I mean, cool. I love my friend, but if he's acting like this and it's giving my family cancer and that's why, whatever, blah blah blah, recoils on people, well then, I don't feel it sucks. I don't, it's like the how Anja was like my child or this is childhood and she's all sad that her school burned down. It's like, yo, they metaphorically burned down my whole life when I was like fucking 5 or 6 or something. Right around the time I met Emilio. But so spare me the fucking like, oh, I feel so bad. It's like, well, you're treating me like sociopaths. If I start mirroring you and coming out like a sociopath, I mean, it's just what you fucking deserve. And then from the Joker, TM. So I guess if I'm the Joker, you get YJ. Anyway, hey, Rockets win. What? And the Texans play this weekend too. Is this all about just trying to like make sure that Houston doesn't do well at sports or something? Is that how this started? What a stupid fucking reality. Okay. Anyway, Yahweh. What is this one? How are we going to? Hold on. I gotta go down to like because they made these. Apple really fucked with the photos gallery app and it and made it more difficult. Okay, here's where there's that earthquake in Japan after I said earthquake. Here's then the next thing, and like the next night I shared like the Yo Jordan mix, Jordan Woods. Didn't her boyfriend or husband or fiance or something play in the NBA? It's interesting that I went to a game right when I posted this. It's probably already like somehow, Yahweh knew all this would play out and just, 2,520 days ago had me do the exact right things to make a point that he knows what's going on and I don't need to know or at least consciously be aware. I'm sure if he knows, I know, but you know. And then I shared this song, "Finale" by Madion, except it's "Finale" the Net Sky remix. Is that like Skynet? Hmm. Anyway, look. So how did that one go? Oh, brace yourself, brace yourself. Your last chance, last summer, last dance, beat to your own drummer. Go out fighting, go out young, a flash of lightning. And then it says eclipse the sun, but it sounds to me every time I hear it, I listen to all the mix, or I listen to the main mix and this mix just to make sure, this remix, and it definitely sounds like a flash of lightning clips the sun, like lightning hits the sun or it gets blasted by lightning or something and then the sun has some issue and like a flash of lightning eclipse the sun, brace yourself. And remember, this was when I shared this 7 years ago or 2,520 days ago and then nothing happened. I'm sure they were pretty cocky and whatever, but I'm going really really slow, and so 2,520 days ago I'm posting things that are or maybe I'm way ahead of things. Maybe I went really fast then. I had to slow it down. 2,520 days ago means that would be this summer is their last chance to beat to their own drummer. Because I think after this, people have to take the mark of the beast to continue doing whatever the fuck they want, causing this world where death still exists. So, anyway, okay. Right? Yeah, last connection. Collide with me. Yeah, this burning, burning. Your last chance, your last summer, your last dance. Beat to your own drummer. Go out fighting. Go out young. A flash of lightning clips the sun. Well, Alessandra's not that young anymore. Maybe this is aimed at Anja and Noah. Go out fighting, go out young because they're gonna die this summer or around the summer just after the summer. I don't know. I guess we'll see when they die. Um, Maybe the beast system thing where it says a horn sprouts and then it has a bunch of boasts. Maybe it's some kind of rape baby that gets, or like baby that's like I said with Giselle and Tom Brady, where Giselle got pregnant with this random Brazil. What? Why is Brazil always coming up with this shit? Huh? Mm. Anyway, this random Brazilian guy, like jujitsu instructor, because he's trying to let me show the Americans, and it's like you guys have no fucking clue. Jesus is gonna kill you. Just FYI. But whatever. I don't think these people have much brain power, and by these people, I don't mean Brazilians, because there are some Brazilians that are super cool. But if y'all are willing to do this to Jesus and try to make a point to Jesus, he's gonna fucking kill y'all. You understand that, right? I mean Jesus, like actual Jesus, Yahweh, God, Jesus. But Alessandra doesn't care. She's just a carefree, good vibes girl. Yeah, yeah. That's why she gotta get a surfer guy. Yeah, good vibes, man. Yeah, totally. Are they good vibes? No, they're the worst vibes fucking ever. And I think even her beauty is going away. And good. You don't deserve it. You've done evil with it. So I hope I hope evil befalls you. That would be just cause and effect, right? Don't science people believe in cause and effect? Okay, well, this would be reaping what you sow. Very similar concept. Uh, okay, anyway. And I think she works out so much, and like, I just don't think it's gonna help you. It looks at this point like, look, lady, it looks like the life is being sucked out of you, like every day more and more. And then remember, this lady, Gabriella Deleuze, it's posting this in kind of a taunting way because she still doesn't want to engage Jesus. It's a third eye thought. It's not a proverb. You know what I mean? But like, I think you should tell people how important they are to you, not because they could leave at any moment, but because they're here now, and it's worth saying. And it's like, well, look, Would you die into infinite burning torture because you've supported your rapist friend and, participated in her rape games? I'm going to suggest that she should have said goodbye because she ain't ever seen your ass again. And, I think your kids should tell you goodbye too because Issa, this is another fucking Islam rape thing. Issa, her daughter, being Anja's best friend, Anja doesn't want to treat me well. She wants to treat her best friend well, which I can understand that. I mean, kind of. My best friend doesn't want to acknowledge these people are acting evil and rapey to me, and he kind of, I don't know. He pretends like he doesn't know what's going on, but it seems like bullshit to me. But I'll keep doing the same thing he's doing. It's like a mirror, right? So I'm just, yeah, I don't, I think some people might have bred me, and oh, really? What are you talking about? That's kind of his thing, and it's like, yeah, it might have happened, but you know what I mean? Like, okay, anyway, I'm just making a point. Like, oh, you guys want to play that? It looks like I've been playing that the whole time, but okay, whatever. Oh, here we go. So it took 7 days from Pacific Palisades burning down. She was humbled for a week, and then all of a sudden, let's taunt Jesus. Let's get back to taunting Jesus. You know what I mean? It's just her and this rapist fucking idiot Buck Palmer. So okay, well, like I said, it's been 7 days since Alessandra being a rapist towards me caused Pacific Palisades to burn down, and she's already back to using Buck to psychologically abuse me. She's arrogant and prideful to like literally the point of destruction. And so, okay, it like I say here, it was nice for a few days for her to shut the fuck up. I mean, you know, image wise, where all that you were getting out of her was like good vibes, kind of, or at least like pretend good vibes. But okay, so this is what I shared. This is Apple, you really got to fix some of this. But anyway, whatever. Okay, so this is the Beatport listing for this. Actually, I was going through it because I've been adding music to my library, and I just got to the when I got to this, it was released in July, a little over 5 months ago, maybe 6 months at this point, and one of the songs in it is Buck. What are the songs? Or tracks, and it's a nuke going off. It looks like a mushroom cloud, Sounds of Mayhem, the Uprising 3. Well, I am going straight up, back into the heavenly places. Poison damage, art damage where the 4 is an A, because Alessandra is the fourth church. Yeah, okay. Arise, original Spice Blade Magic, and track 4 by Blaze. You know what I mean? By Blaze, like the blaze that burned down fucking Pacific Palisades. Yeah. Here we can even do this maybe in. Oh no, it's just gonna. I am gonna have to do it like this. By Blaze and Swando or Swandu is Buck. Is that like truck buck? And I don't give a fuck. Maybe. I fed my can my so that's track 4. 4. You see 4, right? Hold on. 4, 4, track 4, 4, number 4, like the fourth church, where Buck is also number 4 in this line of rapists. He might be number 5 also. I don't know. I guess we'll see. There might be 2 Bucks, or again, as I've been saying, I think Alessandra's gonna get pregnant here because since I stopped following her on Instagram and stuff, like, how else is she gonna get my attention? Seems like she's been backed into a corner where she needs to do something pretty drastic. I guess she could date some kind of person more celebrity than fucking Buck, because he's been so worthless. It's been the end of her community. I'm just looking at this like this dude has fucking destroyed his life because after she dies, they are going to murder Buck. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Buck is going to be murdered along with his whole family. And I would say it's not really murder if it's just. Because if she dies, very clearly, she's Jezebel. I mean, if Anja and Alessandra and Noah die, that's Jezebel and her children and the men that she's committing adultery with. Well, it says they're going to be put under a great pressure to the point of death unless they repent. And I do not expect these prideful fucking, he believes in Eastern spiritual bullshit. I don't expect him to repent. He believes in some stupid bullshit, obviously. Like, why would, they aren't doing anything powerful. They're just using the last bit of the rape magic that Alessandra has left. But once that dies, it's like you don't actually have real like divine power. You're just a rapist, and you raped me as a child, and you always having to make it up to me. I mean, like you know what I mean? Like, or he doesn't have to do anything, but I believe in him, and I believe he is. And look, it looks like he is because I believe in him and Jesus. You know, the Christ. But that doesn't mean anything in Buckland. I mean, he makes products that say heaven is full. I mean, not even in any of the Eastern spiritualities, only in dumbass, like, white person who thinks brown man or Asian man knows, like, some secret sauce to existence. Is that going to be like, is that like any kind of thought you might have? What, heaven is full? You think hell is full too? I can guarantee you both those places have infinite reserve. You know, as many people as want to go into them, they'll take. So, second death, burning lake, all of you can go into that for all I give a fuck. But you know what I mean? Like, I think Yahweh's gonna at least pull some people out of this. You know what I mean? Jesus is. There are saints of the Most High, and there's a bunch of people in white robes around the throne. So even these people who make this like really intense, heavy music, they could be in heaven. We could be partying into infinite eternity, and you know they wouldn't be in the infinite burning torture. You know, whatever you're feeling now, it could just be like some evil spirits pressing on you and making you feel bad. But if you accept like Jesus and Yahweh, and probably that Matt Wilkins, hi, is a guy who's like, look, I'm using y'all's art too. I mean, come on. Maybe that's why they're doing the art like this. Is like even the sounds of mayhem can be used, like the sounds of chaos and mayhem can be used by Yahweh to create order in a place that's actually fun. Because this place kind of sucks, don't it? Even with a bunch of resources, this place kind of sucks, don't it? Yeah, it does. So why don't we make it into a party into eternity? And you know, believe in Yahweh, believe Jesus is His Christ. What does it say? Believe in your heart that confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, Jesus is Yahweh God, and you know Satan's Satan, because Satan's just a side character that gets crushed and thrown into infinite burning torture. But Yahweh is God who throws a party into eternity where we all get to like you know party, man. I mean, fuck, actually party, and you aren't gonna be so fucking depressed and shit. But that's just, you know, I'm just suggesting that you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's the whole point. God isn't a rapist. He isn't gonna force you to do anything. I mean, until he starts throwing people into burning lakes, and then it's like, well, that's his prerogative. He can do what the fuck he wants. He's God. Anyway, okay, I fed my friend Cam to 17 fucking dogs. I like that title. That's a beautiful title to a track. In all caps. Breakaway 999 Trash. Angst. Rift featuring Baby Angel. A Cold Grave. You know, where Alessandra and Anja and Noah and Buck and Jamie Mazur and Rich Lee and Nicola Odie and Stuart Shining and all Alessandra's friends and confidants and family are going. Yeah, a cold grave. But I'll tell you this. The grave may be cold, but the grave gets emptied. You know, Hades gets emptied into infinite burning torture in the second death. So the grave may be cold, but the infinite burning torture afterwards isn't going to be. I mean, like, that's what it really is, man. I cannot make this shit up. That's what it says in the Bible. All right. Oh, and then I thought this too was pretty funny. It's like, because it's just what it is. The nuke, you know, this nuke here is like the nuke that happened behind this lady, where the whole, you know, where $250 billion in damages happened and a bunch of people died. Why? Because Alessandra's a rapist piece of shit, and they're harboring this rapist and using her to beat me over the head. So, and probably raping my children. I don't know, any of those celebrities, or maybe Hunter Biden or fucking Kamala Harris or whoever's participating. Maybe that's why their things burned down too. I don't, you know, I just suggest that's probably it. But yeah, so anyway, my point with this is Randy Mioid or whatever. I mean, if he's innocent, like, that's why you should follow Jesus, first of all. But if he's innocent, you know what I mean? Like, and he didn't know, and the community didn't know, and I'm bringing this to y'all's attention, This is why people would want to kill Alessandra, Anja, and Noah Ambrosio. Because they're, evil and they're causing great evil and distress on this community. And even cool, good vibes surfer people. Like, Randy had one rule at his house, which he left open for people to come in, according to the news. I mean, all I know this by is the news. But surfer dudes are normally pretty cool. I mean, I was a skater dude for a little while. Uh, but, I wasn't very good because my leg is bummy and, it hurts me to do most activities, right? And my balance is fucked up on that leg. So it's hard to stand on a board that's, but snowboarding, that's why snowboarding was a bit easier. Anyway, and I'm just not a surfer. Sorry, guys. But I mean, I like surfing. I mean, it's cool that you do it. I support you. Unlike Buck Palmer, who is actually a surfer, but he's just bad vibes, and your whole community burned down because of him and Alessandra and Anja and Noah Ambrosio. So this is why I would say these people might be fucked, and people in the community might actually want to kill them. But I can't even prove that this is a real broadcast, so I don't know. That's why I just have the demon lady next to the nuke, because that's what it feels like anyway. And I'm sick of it. Okay. Look, I'm sure that yoga is really going to save you. First of all, great form. Your ribs are really protruding really well. You're so skinny. Wow. I think that's going to save you in the long run. It's not. Okay, her friend Lulu Luz. What does that say? Sala? The Egyptian Salah? You mean Mo Salah? Didn't he do a photo shoot with Alessandra? What's up with all these soccer players using Alessandra to beat me over the head? Yeah, what's up with this, Mo? Can is there any good reason that Alessandra's been used in this evil rapist capacity to make me feel bad? I mean, I see a Christmas tree behind you. I mean, literally, these people like are not you. I'm saying that the fake Christians that I see all around are like, trying to, I guess, make me feel bad or something. I don't know what like Cristiano Ronaldo here. Oh, I mean, I don't, can you see this? Yeah, hopefully you can. Um, this is just this picture is not very good. Um, I think some of these guys are using her in order to disempower me and steal some of the magic away and then use that for soccer. And it's like, well, that would give you an unfair advantage, which is why the FA might, sanction all of your records for whatever. But, I'm just trying to make a point like, evil people get what they deserve, and everybody who's helping her deserves to die into infinite burning torture. So Mo, as remember Isaiah 19, Yahweh, the one who comes riding on the clouds, um, he very clearly says, "Egypt, my people." Now, in the Old Testament, Yahweh brings the children of Israel, I mean the Hebrews, out of Egypt and bondage and slavery, right? And so, this is the book of Revelation is a form of bringing those who would follow the true God Yahweh, not the knockoff Allah, but the true God Yahweh and His Christ Jesus. Bringing them into the spiritual promised land and the forever rest. Also, I'm pretty sure this dude's a gay dude. Why don't those Arabs, you know, since they're all gung ho about treating gay people poorly, why don't they do something about Mo Al Turkey here? Right, Mo? You're just a gay dude or a bi guy, right? This is why I'm saying the LGBTQ AI plus P alphabet soup people. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are all these people using this woman to like beat me over the head? I think most of you know what's going on. So I mean, I'm just wondering, why? Why, Mo? Why? Why Mo and Mo? Anyway, Yahweh. I'm just making a point. Like, most of the things I try to do. Let me get through this faster. So Lulu Lose, and then she posts these things, and damn it, we go here. Linen looks Lulu Lose. Actually, I think Alessandra's bi or a lesbian, and it's the women that are doing this. But the use of men in this rapey evil fashion is the thing that's gonna get all of y'all deaded, because there could be a harem that you belong in that's mine, that like you could do all this stuff otherwise, but instead you choose to be in Buck Palmer's harem or whatever the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? Fuck Buck, and I don't give a truck. Wait, is that how it goes? Truck buck and I don't give a fuck. I mean, I clearly don't like it, right? So that's why it needs to end because she's my rapist. Like, why wouldn't I clearly want my children, Anja and Noah Ambrosio, my biological children. At least they look a lot like it. I mean, I think if they aren't, the only reason that their sperm donor father was chosen is because they would look like me. But I mean, look, both of their nose looks exactly like my nose mixed with Alessandra's. So I mean, it just makes me like I'm pretty sure they're both my biological children, and maybe I'm about to have another kid with Alessandra because when she gets pregnant, because I think she's gonna get pregnant, as I keep saying, just making sure that it's really obvious I'm preempting what they're doing. Because I can feel it. You know what I mean? I can. I ain't shaking this feeling if they haven't already done it. And either it's going to be, there's a few options. It's either mine again, or which, if all the other examples are rape babies that treat me poorly, why would this baby do anything different? Or it's going to be Buck Palmer, or poor Buck Palmer. It's going to be one of the other guys that she's using, or maybe some bigger celebrity, or like I said in my story and pictures at some point. I mean, I think one of the guys, like the final guy that she uses, is going to be Satan, and probably Satan impregnates her, and then that's what I mean. Like whoever does that is literally Satan, adversary, and like Jesus said, Satan, if Satan is against Satan, who can stand? So, turning me into some Satan character, it's like, no, I believe in Yahweh and Jesus. Jesus is my savior. He's my Lord. But guess who sits at my right hand? Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Jesus. It's probably why my right hand has some issues where y'all's is okay, because my right hand is equivalent to opening up the seven seals on the scroll. But I just, I just might have a brain, and most people who claim to be Christian who aren't don't, because you got to be fucking stupid to be taunting Jesus like that. But look at what Alessandra just did. She's clearly willing to taunt Jesus. You know what I mean? Full moon blessings. Let me do yoga. I'm sure it's gonna save me. Well, how about this? Jesus says yoke to him, and that's what yoga is. Yoke. So yoke to Jesus, not the universe, because Jesus has overcome the universe. Anyway, okay. Wait, what was I doing? Here's Anja's last thing on social media. I stopped following him on all social media, but I don't know if one of those is Anja. Um, I don't really care at this point. You can read what I say here. Yeah, so the whole pregnant thing. But what if Buck Palmer being all like, oh, like he's trying to act like this, and she just gets pregnant by another man, and it's like, or me again. I mean, it would just mean he's going to try to abuse my kids, but I think Yahweh's going to kill them before that actually plays out. Like, I think maybe she's going to be pregnant for 5 months. Or is it when I shared the thing about the smoke coming out of the abyss, which maybe is like represented by California being on fire because it's an abyss of fucking, like, Los Angeles is like the abyss. It's like that movie Constantine City of Demons, and literally Nurgle is the character Apollyon or Abaddon. And then I think one of the men that she's used to make me feel uncomfortable. One of the photographers is a guy named Matt Abad, and so that Abad thing seems like the Hebrew word for perish or destruction, or the word for perdition. So I do think these people are going to be perditioned, and so if someone wants to pretend that they're the destroying angel, or maybe I mean, they are, but you don't have any power against me, actually. You can just use these rape babies to beat me over the head, and how's that working? Doesn't seem very well these days. It seems like I'm using it to make art, because nobody in their fucking right minds would ever want that. Only you sociopathic idiots who think you're above everything think that this is okay in any instance when it's clearly not. So, okay, here's where I just stopped following Anja and Noah and Gabby DeLuz and Alessandra. And then one of the things that I noticed is, Lulu Luz there, right? Lulu Luz. And so that just reminds me of this girl that I knew, Lulu Hughes. And so, Lulu who? Or Lindsay Hughes from Maine. like Portland, Maine or something. I think her dad was in the army, so probably some army brat who's trying to make some kind of evil rapey point to me. But remember, it says a man, because that's she was in Turkey here, and I think she's just trying to say that I'm just a man. I'm not the guy on the throne. She was all into that Gaza bullshit before whatever. Lindsay, they're Arabs pretending to be like Philistines. Like, if you have a brain at all, what I'm saying is just factual reality. If you're just a communist idiot or a Satanist or something, like, if you want peace, Israel exists and is going to exist. You know what I mean? But whatever. I think we're about to see the events of Revelation, so it's not like I really give a fuck what anybody thinks anyway. I think we're already seeing some of the events personally, but okay. So here's 2,520 days ago, and it's how many months? Only a This was the same year that I made this mix, that year, 2018. And what does that say? Lulu by Frosty. What are the other songs? Sirens, Ego Death, or Sirens featuring Brightwing. Audjot remix, like Egypt. Ego Death. Heartbeat. I don't know if that's how you say it, but Audjot. I don't know. I'm not an Egyptian, though they are my people, if I'm the guy on the throne of Yahweh. And Assyria, my product or poetry, and Yahweh is the God of Israel, and Israel, my inheritance. My heritage? No, my inheritance. Um, Heartbeat, Buku. Suck My Dick, I mean SMD by Zabor and Wiggum. Am I Ralph? uh, Behemoth, Sudden Death. Sudden Death. Lulu, VIP, Frosty. Snake Charmer. Here's a tip. If you see VIP in any electronic music song, it doesn't mean you're a VIP. I mean, maybe, but it means a variation in production. It's just a different version where the artist was like, no, I think this would sound cool too, but I like both versions, so I'm going to make another version so that it's a VIP. It doesn't mean a very important person version of the mix, so I guess it could. Now you know more. The more you know. Knowledge is power. Snake Charmer, Minnesota. Leviathan, Kill Sonic. Fatality, Quicks. Permadeath, Stabby and Chime, Turok, Mask, and The Big Crunch by Chime and Timonite or something. Lulu, Frosty. And my whole point is Lulu Hughes. Lulu Hughes. Well, if that don't sound like it fucking rhymes, because it does. And then last thing, after I removed them, I went to I hit, I just by muscle memory clicked open Instagram again and went to the I was on the explore page and this popped up and normally my explore page, because the algorithm, Meta's algorithm, seems to show me stuff that's I don't know, that I might want to see or that I've clicked on before, but it also seems to, the top things always seem to, the top 4 squares always seem to be somewhat relevant with each other. And so seeing the whole where it's even the text, loved up Alessandra Ambrosio and Buck Palmer spotted enjoying relaxed, and it's they're actors, they aren't relaxed. I think probably Buck Palmer realizes him and everybody he loves is going to be murdered because he's acting like a fucking rapist. And if he didn't, I think that storm that went through Sydney right after I fucking looked at this, you know what I mean? Right after I saw that he was still being used in this capacity, I think probably it should also tell the people in Sydney who are participating, y'all are fucked. Islam is not going to save you. Governments are not going to save you. If you are participating, you are going to be thrown into infinite burning torture. So, I don't hate Australia. The Buck thing is kind of making me not like Australia so much. So how about I'm an Australian and Buck Palmer is banned from Australia and his house burns down and his family's home burns down and he's exiled from Australia because he's just some fucking rapist piece of shit. But whatever, with these rapist pieces of shit who are acting like this, I mean, she's willingly seemingly letting him do this, but I think the whole point is he's not really the guy. He's just public guy who can be used in this capacity. But I do think this Kanye loses 36 million on Malibu Mansion thing, and they're right next to each other, and it seems to have similar style text where the texts are yellow and then white and then yellow. I think it's just to make some kind of evil rapey point. Also, out of Australia, this woman here, Lily or Bonnie or something, isn't that my grandma's name? Is that why she chose that? Probably. Um, just like the fake devout Christian here who's a virgin, who's not a virgin, who's not a devout Christian, and who's, robbing a bunch of simps of their money. How about you give me that money? You can come join my harem, like, I've been saying. But anyway, and like engage what I'm saying and help me get what I want, and you won't get thrown into infinite burning torture. That's my offer to like a literal whore here. I mean, the whole point that Jesus was friendly to the whores and whatever was not that keep being a whore. It's repent, like stop doing it, change your mind, metanoia, repent, and then do the right thing. Help me, right? So that's your options. Otherwise, I guess infinite burning torture will suit you well. FBI addresses why they were spotted outside Ben Affleck's home. Yeah, I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fire. I'm sure it has everything to do with the fire, and it has nothing to do with some evil shit he's been doing behind the scenes. Okay, adult star suffering gross health issue after sleeping with 101 men in a day. I actually saw yesterday on the Twitters. On X. Um, Maybe in her instance on the Twatters. Didn't she just? And she's like in Sydney or something. Is she Australian or I don't know where she lives, but I got the gist that she was Australian because when I looked up Sydney, she popped up because I was looking up the Sydney storm. But anyway, she slept with 1,000 men yesterday, or maybe a couple days ago or something. And it's like, well, when you're teaching people things like Lily here and Buck Palmer and to act like rapists and to use your sexuality as like a gross rape kind of abuse mechanism for governments and stuff or whatever for whoever for Satan, I guess probably when the storm comes and as the wisdom says as in Proverbs as the whirlwind crashes over your head and you have all the problems associated with that. uh, you know I'm gonna jeer and laugh and stand askance as you're blah 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 blah. Okay, whatever. Um. Okay, so I just wanted to go through this. So they're spotted enjoying a relaxed day in Rio de Janeiro. Well, they had to get out of Los Angeles where her home burned down. Or like, I'm sorry, where her neighborhood burned down, but her home was spared. But wouldn't people want to go and kill her in that home? Yeah. Isn't Buck Palmer also wearing one of those Kabbalist things? And Kabbalah is a form of magic, and literally the word means in Hebrew some kind of binding. Yeah. So they're trying to bind me, but it's not working. Yeah, probably it's some kind of cabal, and they're not real Jews. That's the idea of a synagogue of Satan, those who claim to be Jews but are not. And that's the whole Jamie Mazur and Carrie Hart and Michelle Mazur and all these people claiming to be Jewish, but they aren't really Jewish. They don't believe in Yahweh. They don't even believe in God. They believe in Satan. That's the idea, actually, some kind of adversarial entity to Yahweh, whoever that may be. So whatever, Jesus is going to deal with them, but I will say, like, when they don't get to control the narrative, first of all, I don't think Buck Palmer is very good looking, but Alessandra looks, even despite, like, the touch ups and the magic and the smiling and the whatever, she doesn't look healthy to me. I mean, just looking at it, she looks like, she doesn't look good. Just, just my opinion, right? I think my opinion's pretty valid, but you get what I mean? Hey, look, it's a scooter. Maybe I guess that's the idea is like some kind of okay, it's just a thing that she's writing, right? It's one of the tools that she's writing. And there's two of them that he's pointing at. Oh yeah. I think the only place they can be is Brazil currently cuz I think people are going to kill them in these other places, but what do I know? Um anyway, ND9A06 60A9DN. I don't know. I just want this lady gone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of it. Also, very sly that Buck Palmer seems to be flicking off the camera here. But whatever. Just, and she's like, it looks like she's looking at her belly or something to make, he's trying to make some kind of point, flicking me off like, oh, gonna get her pregnant. When it's not your kid and it's either mine or some other, like, literally Satan. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be crushing to this idiot or these idiots because there might be two of them. Whatever. So I'm just okay, dum dum. If you want to play this game, it's not a game. It is life or death, and who has the keys to life and death? Jesus. So I mean Yahweh. So is Kanye gonna do it? I mean, whichever satanic fucking idiot. Like I say here that it's talking about Kanye West's home that he lost a bunch of money on, but whatever. I think a bunch of people in Malibu lost a bunch of money, so he probably didn't deserve to have it anyway. Because I mean, what kind of fucking terrible people do all this shit and then claim to be Christian? Oh, Kanye West. But anyway, so you can read what I said here. I think Alessandra's an evil piece of shit rapist, and I think Kanye's an obsessed loser. And like they're doing all this so that I can see it. My whole point is, and they won't leave me alone. This is why I'm getting off social media, because why would I give these people pause? Like I'm not deleting my accounts. I just don't need the app because that's all it's being used for these days. Because they don't have any other attack vector. That's kind of my point. Is like all Alessandra has is beat me over the head with her sexuality. It's like legitimately. I try to say it in this, but I don't know if I said it very well. But it's like a fighting game, and she's got one move. Is that going to work? In most games, if you're playing anybody with some little semblance of competency, no. Hitting uppercut over and over is not going to work. You know what I mean? Like doing the Chun-Li kicks over and over, it ain't going to work, right? Anybody with any bit of skill, if this was Mortal Kombat, you know what I mean? And you're just punching, just doing punch or kick over and over. I'm gonna just sit back and like Sub-Zero ice ball you, and then go punch you, uppercut you, and then back off, and then let you keep punching again. And it's like you're just punching at the wind. Like at this point, that's her getting pregnant. That's her, using these men in some kind of rapey, evil fashion. It's just the same fucking move over and over again. And she taught Anja that like it's gonna fucking work. It's like, and Noah. It's like that ain't gonna work. Do you think it's going to work? How's it working for you? Probably not very well. It doesn't look like it. I also think it's funny. Every instance I put Buck and all these other men that she's using, I put them in quotes. Maybe I could have put Kanye in quotes because he did try to say something about Alessandra in that song. This was when Kanye West was actually kind of, I enjoyed his music. I guess even at this point, I wasn't really too aware that Alessandra was doing this, though I was probably more aware than people would want to know. Um, Yahweh knows all. So, oh, Alessandra Ambrosio, Anja Rubik. Oh, I wonder why he said Alessandra and Anja. At that point, um, uh, what's that called? How does this go? I'm in my Christian Dior with a Veronica Webb, Naomi Lenoir, Chanel, Cecily Lopez, Arlena Sosa, so like, whatever. I'm not gonna say these people's names. Make a phone call out to Joan Smalls. Hey, Joan. I wonder how it feels in Laura Stone's walls. That's my cousin. That's my cousin's wife. Just FYI. This is why he's saying this, because he's an obsessed fucking loser trying to act like a rapist. And he's a really insecure, pathetic black man who needs to go around calling himself God because I'm the guy on the throne of Yahweh. And all they can do from their vantage is watch the throne and claim that they're gods when they're just weak, fucking pathetic men. So, okay. Here's where he's saying, Jessica, how I wonder how it feels in Laura Stone's walls, like her vagina. What does it say? Oh, Laura Stone's a fashion model from the Netherlands. When Kanye says walls, he is referencing inside her vagina. Kanye has always been kind of a shithead, but okay. Anyway, Jessica Gomez, y'all, I would damage her and see if Jessica Stam got the stamina. His bars were actually all right here if he wasn't acting like a rapist shithead. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm in the car, and all these women, like, you're empowering these rapist idiots. This is why when all these people around you are dying, you deserve it. If not, why don't you speak out and say, like, this is wrong, you know? What Alessandra has done to Matt is wrong. But, they don't want to, so whatever. I'm happy to see all these people thrown into infinite burning torture. Hey, Joan! Hey, Joan! I'm in the car with Leo. Is that Leonardo DiCaprio? Yeah, okay. Yeah, just making sure. Um, and the Ben Swerve, I heard Bar. Bar Refaeli, the Israeli model. What's up with all these Israelis? They're such a small nation to have all these, you know, people participating in this rapist behavior. It's probably that there really is a synagogue of Satan, those who claim to be Jews but are not, but are members of the synagogue of Satan. Didn't Kanye get in trouble for saying this? Because people know he's full of bullshit, but when I say it, lightning strikes, and it's like, oh, Satan just fell like lightning. Uh, um, oh, wait. Something about how the zeitgeist feel. I don't know. Jay Electronica tried the same bullshit, except to be more like Nation of Islam stuff, and it didn't work very well, did it? I heard Barr was friends with S.D. Ginsburg, Coca Roca, Kate Mimosa, Alessandra Ambrosio, and then very specifically he says Anja Rubik afterwards. Look, Alessandra Ambrosio is a Brazilian model slash actress. Not a very good actress, much better model. In fact, I think she's a really bad actress, but that's just what I believe. You can believe whatever you want. You can believe green is blue and black is white and black and white. Baal Maine. Yeah, it's just a Baal rape thing. Exactly. She and Kanye collaborated in 2016 for his Wolves music video, pictured in the front below. And then Anja Rubik is a Polish model. She enlisted Kanye's skills for the launch of her then new magazine, 25. You can read about their collaboration and view it here. I'm going to suggest actually the reason he said Anja Rubik afterwards is he's trying to say he's going to fuck my daughter. But, because he's a rapist and she's a literal rape baby that Alessandra, conceived when I was 16. 16 here in Houston, Texas, and yet the government knows about it and has allowed it and isn't doing anything about it. Well, look, when Kanye gets thrown into infinite burning torture because he's a dumb fucking animal and so are these women, they're just dogs. He's a gay fucking, literally Kanye West is a gay dude pretending to be straight, just like the whole thing that I was saying about Jay Electronica. Jay Electronica had Bruno baby, that's the idea. Bruno Mars. Well, Mars is the whole point is to name a kid after another deity. And it didn't really work out that well, but whatever. Maybe that's why Elon Musk's obsessed with going to Mars. Okay, yeah, where Alessandra Ambrosio, and then he says Anja, because he's just trying to suggest he's going to rape my daughter after, she was 2 when this came out. But, they're literal rapists, so he could have raped her when she was 2. I don't know. Kanye West is a fucking shithead. And he's when he started taking around that Bianca Censori on a leash, that was right when I was saying in my thing, well, why don't I make these women my dogs like Alessandra and Anja, because they were already treating me like shit at that point, and then put them on a leash like they deserve. I don't know, like wolves or something, because they think they're wolves, but they don't understand that when wolves run into a lion, lions will rip wolves to pieces and then throw them into infinite burning torture and some kind of second death. I don't know, they're a bunch of pussies anyway. They have to stand off at a distance and rap about shit. And what happens if you put an E at the end of rap? Oh, you get rape. That's all rappers are rapers. Anyway, I don't need to read the rest. I guess, and Olga Kurilenko. Oh, yeah, her. She's part of this, too. Tell her I'm very single. Abby Lee, too. I'm a freak, boo. I'm wilding. I'm on 1,000. I want to see Irina Shayk next to Dutzen. Okay. Anyway, you get my point. It's just what a fucking obsessed loser. We're about to get into the lightning stuff, and then I'm done with this. But hold on. I gotta go back down on here because that's where all the lightning stuff is. You can't even see it because you're not on the right view. But just trust me. Just trust me. Trust me. It doesn't feel good, but it's the end of the Bible. I'm going to get so much more for having to go through this than these. The thing that Kanye is I am a god. I am a god. It's okay, Kanye, sure. You're an arrogant, idiot who thinks all his ideas are brilliant when none of them are very good, maybe Yeezys were his best idea, but it's not even it's just capitalizing on being a rapist. So, I mean, whatever. I hope that your daughters are now really, and your kids are really embarrassed of you, or else I guess they can side against Jesus with you and go dad, our dad's the coolest rapist ever. Okay, I mean, I've made a point. Kim Kardashian's a fucking idiot, and No need to keep up with them. I'm going the opposite direction. They're going in the infinite burning torture. They like to mock Jesus. I like to be Jesus. There's a difference. I mean, I like to be the guy on the throne of Jesus, which Jesus clearly offers in Revelation 2 and 3 to one who might go through a situation with some Jezebel character. But I got 20 more minutes because I'm trying to go get some Chick-fil-A before they close at 10. So that's an ad. Let's finish this up. They got some great salads, by the way. Put some grilled chicken in that, and very fresh. The tomatoes are delicious. Anyway, okay. So remember, I saw this Buck Palmer stuff. This, and then it would have been at what time was this? 3:54 a.m. Right, and then so we go down here a little bit, right, and we get to here, and at 6:09 this is what was going on. So right when I was posting this stuff about Buck Palmer, and it doesn't make me feel good, so I was like bothered by it. But again, it's like a mosquito trying to like fuck with me. It's like it happens a lot with this setup that I have where the lights are really bright and I see like one mosquito and it's like I can't avoid seeing it because it's like first of all it's trying to get in my fucking way, but second of all it's like flying all around my face and I'm just like get the fuck out of here. Like nobody wants you here. That's exactly the same thing with Buck Palmer. Exactly. I think that's how Australia should feel about it too. Like how embarrassing. First of all, how evil, but also pathetic. But second of all, how embarrassing that it's not working for all these people. All of them. How embarrassing. I'm whooping your ass, and I ain't doing a thing. It's Jesus doing it, and I'm just looking like a clown. Because what am I? That's how I look at myself. Like I don't hold myself in that great of esteem. Look, if Jesus says I have a little strength, though, that means I'm so much stronger than all these people. They can't even fucking fathom it. And not like they have very wide or good imaginations either. You know what I mean? Um, okay. So right when I was seeing Buck Palmer's thing, holy shit, I've never seen a Sydney storm like this. Actually, if we go back, hold on, hold on. I just want to make this point. Um, Kind of here recently, Anja had gone to oh, there's only 39 photos of her. I don't actually think that's the case. You got to get better at facial recognition, Apple. Um, I have a bunch of pictures of these random kids that I'm never gonna meet in real life. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird to me, but it's also like, well, they are my biological children and their friends. So like, I'm just trying to, Oh, that was ignore that. That was Sophie Rain. I had to make the point that she's not a virgin. At some point here, maybe it was here. No, this is when they were in Brazil over Christmas because they wanted to beat me over the head with, uh, you know, with my children on Christmas. You know what I mean? Hey, look, it's my children. Like literally. Oh, and hey, look, Buck. It's just another one of you idiots in this row of men that are pretty worthless. And I think the idea is again, uh, they're trying to use Noah and say like he's also sucking their dicks like uh what's her face here, Alessandra, and it's just them kind of giving this stupid face. But like again, I don't really care. I mean like I only care that I'm your actual dad and your mom raped me and you're trying to make some kind of evil rapist point to me. Um, you're kind of a piece of shit for that one, huh? Like I don't think he looks at all like uh I think he looks a lot like me with Asian eyes, but I mean, look at our noses here. It is not that different, you know what I mean? And it doesn't say daddy's boy, it says mommy's boy. Though, my dad always said, I want you to be a mommy's boy. Oh, and here's your mom naked with some random guy. Um, and here's him trying to make some kind of evil point to me because he's a piece of shit. So, I mean, it's just like piece of shit begets a piece of shit. And they did it via rape. And I guess whatever piece of shit part of me is going on too. But just remember, Gabby DeLuz is gonna die because they're all these fucking rapists and they're acting like this, and she dies into infinite burning torture. And look, she's even putting her head next to a goat. And look, I think the idea is that Anja's a goat too, But remember, Jesus comes to separate the sheep from the goats. Look, it's just random Michelle Mazur, Jamie Mazur family. And I think the idea is that they're abusing my biological child because he's just a random fucking guy. He's also trying to make some point like he's a Jew doing this, but I think all the Jews are going to say Matthew Ray Wilkins believes in Yahweh. Clearly, you believe in Israel. Israel exists and is going to. This idiot believes in Satan and Krishna and his whatever the fuck bullshit yoga shit his mom believes in. And if we made this competitive yoga, I think I could out yoga you. So here's some of the points where they were acting shitty to me, and I'm just making more points to them. I'm trying to find the point where Anja, is it here? No, well, maybe she went to what's that place called? Sydney, Australia. Not that long ago, and I'm just trying to find it because all of a sudden Sydney. Remember this place where Buck Palmer, I don't know, is from or something. I don't know. He's just Australian. That's all I know is that he's some Australian idiot. And like that's y'all's representative. If you don't want him as a representative, you can drop him and I'll represent Australia for you. And cool. I like animals like Steve Irwin. And here's Michelle Mazur, Jamie Mazur's mom. Got too many damn Buddha heads for her to be an actual Jew. You know what I'm saying? And Yuval Noah Harari. I mean, again, got too many damn Buddha heads for like Jamie Mazur is still hanging around these kids that aren't his. You know what I mean? But we're getting to the point where 2,520 days after when Alessandra broke up with him publicly, we're about a month away from that, and I think something pretty dramatic like him dying or his mom dying or his family dying or all of them dying is going to happen sometime around then. So, or maybe he's the Satan character that's used because he's just a fake Jew. I like real Jews. My first kiss was a real Jew, or a Jew. I don't know if she's real or fake or whatever. Anna Silberman, where you at? What about your hot friend Amanda Laviage? I'm Yoda, and she's Amanda. Oh, that's what the a man thing was about, huh? I like name puns, if you can't tell. Oh, he's going crazy. He thinks all. It's like, dude, I like name puns. Calm your tits. Okay. Look, you think this is something a Jew would share? The choice a person faces is not between struggle and lack of struggle. The only choice is always between struggle at one level or at another level. Contrast that with things that Yahweh and Jesus say. They ain't even fucking close. So, again, tell them this: the gods who did not make the heavens and the earth will vanish from the earth and from under the heavens. What he said. What I said. What he said. The whole lot of them are brutish and stupid. Not British, brutish. And stupid. The teachings given by these nothings are void of sense, but Yahweh is the true God. Krishna? No, Yahweh. He is the living God, the everlasting King. The earth quakes when he is wrathful. The nations cannot endure his fury. No Jew on earth can claim to be a Jew and then say what I just said is not just reality. Oh, and look, here's Anja flicking me off because she doesn't like me for some reason. I literally have no clue why you wouldn't like me. Your mom raped me, and I've been nothing but nice. I'm even willing to fulfill your daddy fetish. But, you bully me and you're mean to me. And, I guess it's like Stockholm Syndrome, I think. And I think she actually probably, maybe she didn't respect me, but now she does respect me. But she realizes she's a rapist. She's a rape baby and a rapist piece of shit. And I don't know, she might already have kids. Does she? Is that something? I don't know. So what does it say? Sydney, Australia? Yeah, this was December 14th, right? Yeah, okay. And does that say W? And then up there it says Love Leopard, like the beast from the beast? Leopard? Love Leopard? Okay. Now that all that's been said and done. Look, all of this is lightning stuff that I'm talking about that happened in Australia, and I just putting it into my story and pictures, and here's where I said this. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. That's a prideful or like arrogant spirit. blusterous and filled with, to these people who want to follow the Eastern paths, but they just want to quote shit at you from the East, but they don't actually want to follow it. Because, if they actually followed it, the people in the East do have some wisdom, much like this, except they phrase it differently. So, an ego, a prideful ego before a fall. Better be humble among the lowly than share the booty with the proud. Yeah, it looks like I'm humble among the lowly. Actually, it looks like I'm proud and boasting in Yahweh, my God, who I get to be on his throne with Jesus. So that's where I get my pride from, and my ego and my bluster and whatever. But it's better than share Alessandra's booty or Anja and Noah's booty. It's better than sharing their booty with the proud, because like Kanye West is gonna die for all this bullshit, but he doesn't care because he's a suicidal rapist fucking idiot like all these other people, and like, what is being rapey to a rapist? It's just the norm. So, okay, better be humble among the lowly than share the booty with the proud. Maybe you should learn this one, Buck. Buck. Anyway, I did also want to point out, I find it interesting Instagram is in quotes. Instagram. Uh, Mark, you got any words on this one? Is it good that I deleted Instagram? Maybe how about you remove these idiots that are trying to use sexuality in a really fucking evil way to beat me over the head, and acknowledge Yahweh as the God of the Jews, and maybe follow Jesus there. I would suggest that one's the most important part of all this, because there's one mediator between God and man, and it's Jesus, and between Yahweh and man. And then, okay, I really believe what I've put here. I believe people are literally, if when Alessandra, Andra, and Noah die, I think people are going to murder Buck and all of these men who are using her in this rapey, evil fashion. And they can, flick me off from a distance, and because they're acting like pussies. They aren't around me, are they? No, I don't even think they could get around me. So that should also tell you who's on the throne and who's a random fucking person. Kanye had to come to Houston after I was in the jail. He couldn't come to the jail while I was in the jail, because he's a pussy, and not a cat type pussy, but like a scared person who doesn't have, he's a dog, actually, a male prostitute. But okay, anyway, you can see what I say there. If anything's too out of line, I don't really give a fuck. I'm not threatening violence on anybody that isn't going to come due to their actions that I'm participating in. I'm not participating in any of it unless I can strike people with lightning and can command like the sword of Yahweh and do all these things. So, by the way, here's a coyote attempting to kill a sheep, and then like Jesus was the good shepherd. You get someone that shoots the coyote, as and that's thermal vision, so you can see them what they're doing in the dark. Yeah, and then you know, all these Muslims, Jesus Christ isn't God, or even the fake Jews or whomever. I don't really give a fuck. Isaiah 53, it's clearly Jesus. Um, Oh, and all these volcanoes are building pressure. If you haven't noticed, there's a bunch of volcanoes that are building pressure. The USGS and all these organizations just don't like to say when shit's getting wild, because it might mean they're less in control than they want to, pretend, right? Yeah. Okay. Um, and then look, we'll do this for about 15 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go. So, all of these are just tweets that I made. Let's actually look at some of the videos, and I mean that I reposted. Let's actually look at some of the videos, and that was a translation because it was in Hebrew. And then here's some relating to Urta Ale, which is a volcano that all of a sudden has recently erupted. It's probably representative of Alessandra burning on the inside because she realized how fuck she is, but she doesn't want to admit it. Also, I would suggest probably Brazil's government. I think they're starting to realize that using Alessandra Ambrosio in accordance with all these fucking left-wing rapist terrorist idiots and Hamas and Islam here is gonna be the end of all them. Like Lula, some kind of socialist idiot who supports terror, Islamic terror, not like I don't know, Christian terror, as if there is such a thing. Really, most people who do that aren't following what it says. In fact, anybody who's doing a Christian terrorism is not following what it says in the Bible, right? Does that make sense? And if you're considering what I'm doing, terrorism, making videos that God Himself would have to be doing the thing that I'm saying for this, like what I'm saying would have to be real for you to take odds at all with it. You know what I mean? Like you would have to expect that whatever I'm saying actually happen, or it would actually have to happen in order for y'all to be, saying that I'm anything terrorist related. You know what I mean? But I would also suggest anytime they would come out and say something like making any kind of claims like they've tried in the past, I think at this point it would be publicly revealed that this has been going on, and so therefore it would be like it would kind of undo what they've already done or what they're doing, and so they can't really take that risk either. So if they did that, they could prove it. By the way, all these kids down here, turns out they're all my biological children, I believe. I mean, I guess they could be children of people who've died recently, but I'm pretty sure they're all my biological children. Now, are they actually my children? Like, no, they're Jezebel's children, I think, or something like that. But none of them treat me well. None of them like me. I would like them. I mean, I don't have anything against them other than they're rape babies and they're participating with their evil mothers in some kind of a game of abuse around me, and they know that it's wrong, but they don't want to admit it, or you know, I'm dad. I'm like literally their dad, and they don't want to treat me like it. So I don't know. I think it's something like they've been brainwashed into thinking I would hate them for being gay. Maybe. I mean, I think that maybe that's what they tried to tell them, and then it's clearly that I'm not that. And so everything that they've learned about me is just a lie. And like I just want to love you for being my kids, but if you don't want to treat me well, I can't let my parents die because I am supposed to honor them. You are supposed to honor me, but since you're not, and like I didn't choose to have you, even though I have said numerous times, like I love you and I would like to be your dad if you'll just admit what's going on and like stop what your parents are doing. I mean, what your mom is doing. I mean, your mom's Alessandra and all, and Ambrosio. But since they haven't and don't want to, I can't force them, and that's not, it's not the prerogative. I think that they're going to be killed and or murdered or something, and at that point again, you can take DNA samples off a cold corpse. I mean, you could take DNA samples out of bones. You don't need to be alive for me to prove that you're my biological children. Though again, if you're dead, you're probably not my actual children. You're her children or their children or whatever. So, you know, Alessandra and Aline are the evil fucking rapists. I'm not. That's where you should get from this. So let's quickly go through this. Hey, look, Kilauea is in the thing. And another mountain fire or another California fire. So this is going on at Iceland. It looks like just it's ramping up. You know what I mean? And do not make peace with evil. Destroy it. Here's
Oh my god. Holy crap. This is like a cyclone.
and like just holy shit, I've never seen a Sydney storm like this. I've seen some intense Sydney storms, never anything like this. Nikki Bradley, is that like Nikki Dunn? Um, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna suggest really heavily that these are just warnings. It's like just clear and obvious warning signs. But continuing to act like Alessandra and Buck Palmer are acting, it's not like I'm going to be able to see it unless she gets pregnant or dates someone with considerably more, what am I trying to say, panache, or who's an actual celebrity and not some fucking idiot that's being used in this rapey kind of evil capacity, and that's the only reason anybody's looking at him. You know what I mean? So, also, I want to point out, we'll look real fast. Uh, exactly 5 months ago, I think. So if we go back, I've made this point about a 5 month period, and that something seems to be 5 months, 1,260 days, 3.5 years, or 5 months, 1,260 days, and 2,520 days. Like if we go back in my story and pictures, we could do that actually. Hold on. I'm gonna say I don't have enough time to do it, so we'll just. I can say this. I know exactly where it is. It's somewhere around here. If we go back somewhere around here, it's like this, maybe right around here. Hey, look, it's Erica Badu and Simi Hayes and Lil Mayo and Maggie Moon and Yoon Ambush and Fat Hercules. How's it going to end? I don't know. Look at all these women who are participating in this, but don't want to admit that they're participating in this because people are going to die over this. And, oh, hey, it's OnlyFans models again because they're just fucking idiots. And like, oh, hey, look, I want to get you pregnant. Let's make baby. Preggers and just all sorts of different names for impregnating someone. I want to breed you. Oh, well, I was bred forcefully, so I mean, wait, can you see this? Yeah, okay. So like I'm just making the point here. But like this is exactly here. August 4th, 2021, I think is 1,260 days. We can even confirm that. I mean, it's not going to take that long, so. August 4th. Okay. And so tonight is going to be going to turn into August 5th. And so we can go down a little bit even more. I think Fat Hercules is pretty. I mean, Father Kels. I mean, Kelsey Calamine is like she's kind of attractive, So I like, but I would put a P in her pod. But she's just one of these OnlyFans whores that's trying to treat me wrong. So I'm just and there's other things. There's evidence that she is also participated in this, where she is making points like to me specifically. But anyway, whatever. Hey, look, it's Gigi and Haya Kadra. Uh, and look, it's Lil Mommy Lani. Oh wow, and the Aldridge sisters. Oh, and look, the Botez sisters. And it's like the women thought they were playing chess, but they're like playing chess against something that they don't understand. It's like not even really chess, It's like a form of a game, but they've already lost the game. You know what I mean? Like this is just me showing them, but they were probably pretty prideful and haughty and arrogant, like what exactly 1,260 days ago. But when all this destruction and evil and death has occurred on them, maybe they're a little less prideful and haughty. You know what I mean? Yeah. Uh, uh, well, the real Slim Shady, the real Al Shady, please stand up. That's me. But yeah, look at that slamming body. I'm sure it's all real, huh? This one's probably more real, huh? Hey, Jesse Joe Stark. Way, yay. Anyway, I'm just fucking around. So let's move. This one's pretty great, huh? The McFuck you looking at? I'm just a clown, huh? And we got one more. Ruby Aldridge acting like, ooh, spooky nun lady. And then this is the meme that I shared. Well, Rob Turk shared it, but I reshared it because it's funny. Because trying to be spooky, nun lady. I don't think it works, And maybe I'm just a troll, Matty Boy 90. I'm just a troll, Like, yeah, yeah. Oh look, it's Haley Bieber. She has a baby now. Is that my kid? Anyway. Okay. Hey look, I'm just a cat. I have no clue what's going on. I'm just a cat, right? I'm sure. Okay, let's quickly go through this. We got like 10 minutes because I want to get to Chick-fil-A and get me some either a salad or a sandwich or ad. I like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A supposedly likes Jesus. I don't really, I don't hate that. That's great. I just like their food. It's enjoyable. Okay, what am I doing? I'm showing this crazy fucking lightning storm that happened as in Sydney, as where seemingly Buck or maybe the city using Buck to beat me over the head. This happened, So maybe this is like Satan falling from the sky like lightning. Maybe okay. Some of the lightning in this and thunder is like clearly angry deity lightning. You know what I mean? which I call it that in my Lightning Lab videos. But yeah, it's clearly Angry Deity Lightning. Whoa. Anyway, I like this one. Seems like Yahweh's probably pretty angry with Sydney or someone from Sydney, or I don't know. Is Sydney being used to like beat me over the head because that's where Anja traveled, a couple months ago, and actually about 2 months ago exactly. Um, or according to when they posted it, they don't do anything in real time because that's one of their techniques. It just doesn't work because Yahweh knows what's going on. Probably the most intense thunder I've ever heard in Sydney. That's what all of these are saying. It's the wildest storm they've ever had. Look at this. Hey, it's the weekend. Look, I guess this is when I get strong and it's the end of me being weak, right? Except if I'm strong, I have a little strength, and then I'm the guy from the end of the Bible thing, and all these women are going to be thrown into infinite burning torture and going to be like crying like whiny little bitches the entire time because that's, what they deserve, right? Unless they actually take some action to end this and like admit that they're sorry, repent, like make it up to me. You're in my harem now, I guess, and you make it up to me. That would be reasonable, right? Yeah, okay. I mean, that's all that would make it up to me is that you're in my harem. But reasonably, you start by admit that you're wrong, repent, in other words, change your mind, do the right thing. And I'm going to suggest this is just Matt Wilkins' power, Matthew Ray Wilkins' power, because, like, when Yahweh decides to get involved, it is the part where the Ark of the Covenant opens up. And then you see this everywhere to such an extreme, it will never happen again. It has never happened up to that point before. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, explosions, lightning and fire from the sky, hail, 100-pound hailstones, or 50 talent hailstones, whatever, huge hailstones. I mean, yeah. I think that that tonight had to be the most severe of storms I have ever encountered, and I think back to just before Christmas 2018 for that hailstorm series that wiped us out too. I wonder what caused all that. Look, lightning. Oh wow. And that's my cue to head inside off the balcony. Oh, here's that thing that I was saying. Look, it's a coyote. It's some kind of wild animal, dumb animal that's about to be killed for fucking with the sheep, Doesn't understand that it's being hunted by predators that are way more advanced than they are. Oof. Anyway, Mount Ibu. Yeah, a bunch of volcanoes, especially in Indonesia, have started like, amping up. Sydney taking a pounding tonight. For about 30 minutes, we had a sample of the apocalypse. I wonder why. I mean, look at how people are even phrasing it. I don't even think these people believe in Jesus or Yahweh, but it's like what they're experiencing is so powerful. And it's like, this isn't even Yahweh yet. I think this is just me. And it's like me without really trying. It's like my automatic defense mechanisms. Yeah, pretty crazy. Recorded 321,000 lightning strikes in the past 8 hours. Oh, and Sydney FC. Hey, go Dynamo. Sydney FC, their game, I think, is a female Sydney FC's game. But maybe not. Um, in Sydney, currently experiencing probably the worst thunderstorm I've ever witnessed. Oh, someone died in the storms. Over 100,000 without power. Well, but Palmer, look at what you did again. I mean, someone died. A bunch of people died in California because you were Alessandra's using you in this way. But this is exactly why even your own people are gonna murder you. But okay, that's what I think because you're an evil fucking piece of shit. But I guess we'll see. People seem to like evil fucking pieces of shit. That's why there's a whole like satanic empire at the end of the Bible, like people who take mark of a dumb animal that gets hunted, and then they all get hunted at the same time by Yahweh. Yeah. I'm not sure I remember a storm as concentrated as this in terms of thunder and lightning. Look, tonight's Ninja A-League clash between Sydney FC and Canberra United at Leichhardt Oval has been halted due to lightning in the arena. Sorry, ladies. I know you want to play ball, but these people are treating me bad. I'm sorry for messing up your game. That's my bad. I'm sorry for being raped and messing up your game. You know what I mean? Look, Princess Maddie. I'm not liking this storm one little bit. Terrifying. Thoughts and prayers. Massive shelf cloud on the way. But no prayers to you, RTB Union. Get in the bin. Look, this is what it was like at the game. Scary. I don't ever remember a Sydney storm like this one. It's been going on for ages. Look at all the lightning strikes. 1,800 strikes. So intense. Holy shit. So much lightning. Thank you, Deep State, for the storm that nuked. Like, I think nuked is a great way to put it, but remember, this was posted probably just after I posted the thing with Buck Palmer, the nuke thing. Thank you, Deep State, for the storm that nuked Vic, ACT, and New South Wales today. I'm assuming Victoria, New South Wales, and maybe what ACT. I don't know where that is, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you're welcome. I guess I'm the Deep State now. Homer Ozpol. My internet is back up after getting smashed. Crazy storm tonight in Sydney, hitting Milson's Point train station. Milson's Point. What? That was one of the most intense editions of a Sydney storm I've ever seen. Hey, look, this match was canceled. In my 8 years in Sydney, not sure I've seen or heard a storm like this one. From the Sydney webcam, looking incredible. Top-notch action hitting Sydney right now. What a light show. Jesus. Yeah, that's called Angry Deity Lightning. And it's just me doing it. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Jay, how many of those type things have you heard in my videos when I'm doing stuff here? A lot of them. In a pattern numerous times. Okay, hectic storm across Sydney. Crikey.
Woo! My lord.
Yes, Jesus is the Lord. Biggest storm hits and Jesus is Yahweh. Yahweh is Lord. Jesus is Yahweh. Yahweh. Jesus is Lord. Biggest storm hits Sydney and my power goes out. Nice. Wasn't expecting that lightning. It is pretty crazy looking. Yes, Twitter is so back. Weather events trending again. This thunderstorm is just nonstop lightning. Just pro tip, Elon has already said that Twitter's backend no longer recognizes hashtags. You don't have to use hashtags. In fact, they don't help. That's what he said. I don't know if that's true. This is a wicked storm. I've never lightning like this. Well, okay. Under Thunder Attacks by Black Eagle. Gods are angry. And Black Eagle says, guess he is. Yeah, I'm not happy, but, you know, I guess it's par for the course with a bunch of rapists. The storm tonight in Sydney is insane. The rain is so heavy, the thunder is so loud, and the lightning is so frequent. I wonder who angered the gods. Well, since the Elohim means the gods, and Yahweh is Elohim, probably Buck Palmer, because I'm the guy on the throne of Jesus thing. I mean, here, Buck Palmer? Let's look. Yeah, this idiot. This is the idiot that angered the gods because he's just some dumb white guy who believes in Eastern spirituality, using these rapist women to like beat me over the head. So, yeah. Oh, Bali surf report. It's just people from Bali, and that's what Baal is because they're Bali, and it's some kind of like thing out of the East or something. Yeah, okay. Just tired of even making these name puns is getting tiring. Look, there's more things. The storm in Sydney right now is insane. I've never seen anything like it. By I'm Your Angel. And then hail. Quite large. And then look, all of a sudden, this morning, Kilauea started back up again. I guess the pressure built and then it's releasing it, huh? Urta Ale went off and Kilauea is going off. University of Nairobi in Kenya is on fire. I guess everything's on fire, and that's what happens in Revelation. Like a third of the world burns. Urta Ale is going off in Hebrew. Australia last night, more than 321,000 lightning strikes, and then this massive storm, and you turn the sound on. It sounds intense. All right. Anyway, here's the things. Argentina's on fire. Like I said, everything's on fire, and once the seals and trumpets start going off, everything's on fire. So okay. I got 15 minutes to go to Chick-fil-A, so I gotta end it here. But I hope you enjoyed and have a blessed one. And good vibes, surfer dude vibes. Yeah, whoa! I'm just being silly, man. Buck Palmer is not good vibes. He's an evil fucking shithead, and he's gonna get what he deserves, and that's why you saw a little taste of it. It's just a warning sign what happened to Sydney last night. But of course, it would happen to Sydney last night. If you think it's not, if that doesn't make sense to you and you're still lost. I guess you're going to be lost until you're thrown in the infinite burning torture in the second death. But okay, have a blessed one. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed. Go Rockets, go Texans, go Dynamo, go Houston Sports, because I'm a Houstonian and blah, 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 and, whatever. Anyway, I'll catch you next time, and yeah, later. Bye. Yeah. Yeah.